That's absolutely correct. I mean, they're the assaulters on the Constitution and the American Republic, and we're the defenders. And so they have to make the people think the exact opposite, that we're the threat to them when we're their protectors. And so that's why it's absolutely imperative that officers stand up, police officers, that military stand up, and they do it in large enough numbers that you can't just dismiss them as lone crazies or whatever. You have to acknowledge this is mainstream.
And by the way, it takes a lot of courage. Don't you have some generals and people coming? I mean, to have regular, in the military officers coming and swearing their oath. That's how close to midnight it is.
One lieutenant commander put it, this is one lieutenant commander of the Navy, he said, look, I have nothing to fear because all I'm doing is reaffirming my obligation to follow the law. I'm not going there I'm not going to wage war on the American people.
But that shows how close to midnight it is that it is radical to have people stand up and say, I won't put Americans in camps.
Yeah, you talk like, you quote Jefferson and John Adams and Sam Adams, and they consider you a threat. And we are a threat to their plans. That's absolutely correct, because we're not going to let them do it. So I guess in some ways, their report is accurate, but not the way they spin it. They spin it as though we're going to go blow up, kill babies and blow up people, and they were racist. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst part. Well, they're upset. The people that were buying guns are upset because he's black. No, we're upset because as a state senator, he called for complete gun bans. His attorney general in the briefing last year before the Supreme Court said citizens should not be able to own a single shot. I mean, he wants total gun ban, and they've introduced the bills, and you've now got the governor of Pennsylvania calling for gun bans. And so, again, we're in reality, but for those that don't understand this, we are at a historic crossroads, and I can see it in their eyes and their actions. I realize they're actually intimidated. They realize that they've put their criminal action into motion. It's a machine they can't turn off, and I think they're starting to brace for the fact. I mean, it's like when you get in a fight. Some bully punches you, and then you gear up and start punching back, and you can tell you're going to whoop their ass. I mean, that's the feeling right here. We are going to kick the New World Order's butt.
Yeah, and they realized that they thought you were going to be an easy victim, and the next thing you know, you slam them on the ground, and you're mounted on top of them, and you're going to punch them in the face. Well, let me tell you, Alex, one thing I wanted to say is that we're going to have retired Navy SEAL Captain Larry Bailey administer the oath, unless Judge Napolitano wants to come administer the oath. Sometimes it's hard to reach people, but we give an open invitation to him. If he shows up, all he's got to do is show up, and he can administer the oath, because I can't think of a more consistent judge. He's like
listen, I promised to cover this new angle on these federal reports demonizing Christians, gun owners, the troops, ammo owners. So if you'll do this, Stewart, I'll put you on hold. When Napolitano comes on at the start of the next hour, I'll introduce him for about 5 minutes, and then you can come on and invite him, because I know he's in New York. I don't know if he can come. But you can invite him on air and put him on the spot if you'd like, or do you want me to ask him and then offer to give him your number?
Either way, we just want to. I mean, everyone's welcome, but it would be wonderful to have a judge like that. It'd make the experience all the more special. Because here's the thing: this has been done before. This is not the first time. There's historic precedents. In 1798, a militia company stood on the green and renewed their oath, sent a letter to John Adams, who was president at the time, and he wrote back in response to them and said, by renewing your oath on that sacred spot, you have reaffirmed your devotion to your country. It was just brilliant. So we're going to use that quote when we stand on the green. It's been done before. We're following.
Yeah, but you're talking about founding fathers. That's Al-Qaeda. I mean, this is really radical stuff. Survivalistseeds.com. You can now grow your own healthy food for just 4 pennies a pound and break free of the New World Order. You need to get self-sufficient, folks. These people are vicious. They're shutting things down. Survivalist Seeds has now drastically reduced their price on heirloom seeds to the lowest out there. Survivalistseeds.com. Get 6,000 heirloom seeds for a really low price. Be sure and check it out. There's a real heirloom seed shortage right now, so people interested in growing their own healthy food need to get their heirloom seeds now and start their gardens this spring. Freedom starts with action. Survivalistseeds.com is how you survive the world economic collapse that the globalists are engineering. Okay, Judge Napolitano is coming up in the second half of the next hour. Just to be clear, it was My sheet said 2, but he's actually about 220 or so. So that is coming up. Quick update from him on the whole federal reports demonizing patriots and more. Stewart Rhodes founded Oath Keepers. That's coming up this weekend. We were talking during the break. He was saying, yeah, it really is starting to come to a head. I want to make sure this doesn't turn into riots and a shooting war. And watching CNN try to start physical fights with people, watching Anderson Cooper calling the people horrible sexual expletives. I can't believe I'm seeing this on CNN and MSNBC. They're trying to energize it to make it a left-right fight. Because, again, 98%, 99% in all the polls are against the banker takeover. They want to make it about Republicans and George Bush. It's like 20, 30% to automatically divide and conquer. And it's so obvious, we got to get that message out to people. But I have heard, quote, liberals calling into Air America and stuff going, no, there's a lot of us out here. So the left at first was trying to make this a fight, but now they're failing. And that's the good news is, with every successive month that follows, more and more people wake up to the two-puppet system. So, Stewart, again, you say this is coming to a head.
Absolutely. I think that their attack on veterans is an indication of their fear. But here's the thing: is we're just not Germany. Our oath was not to the Führer. So they can't demonize people who are going to just who are going to stand by the Constitution. Our oath was to the Constitution, and it's not Russia or China. We're not Russian and Chinese peasants either. This is America. We've got a heritage of defeating any tyrant that tries to put his boot on the back of our neck. I don't care if it's a left boot or a right boot. We're not going to have a boot on the back of our neck. And so that's where we're meeting on the green. Folks, if anyone wants to come, you're welcome to come. You don't have to be a veteran. We would like to have a strong showing. We need boots on the ground on the green. So just get there, April 19th, 12 noon, high noon. We'll be standing on the green, and we'll renew our oaths or take it for the first time. And it's a very important stand, a very important statement, I believe. And we're going to send our declaration of orders. We're going to send that to the White House and to the Congress and the Senate and to every state legislature too. After we do this, we're going to sign our names on that paper and say, "Here we are." And that's
all right. Well, we salute you and we appreciate you. Stewart Rhodes, and I can't wait to see the video that my guys shoot up there with you. So God bless you and take care, and I'll give Napolitano your number.
Thank you, sir.
The good Napolitano, the Judge Napolitano, not the head of Homeland Security that says, yeah, the veterans are terrorists. And that means you too, the police, folks. I told you, you're the first ones they're going to go after with the attack pattern I've been seeing. So when we come back, I'm going to play Krista Berg's Revolution, and then we're going to get into the latest developments, big breaking news on these MIAC reports and more, some key angles we haven't gotten into yet that people need to understand that nobody is pointing out, and then we'll go back to your phone calls, and Judge Napolitano is scheduled for the show. Before I end this hour, I want to encourage listeners and viewers again to not procrastinate and get in the info war. And shattering the left-right paradigm, I keep harping on that, is the absolute key. My film, The Obama Deception, in the first 5 minutes of the 113-minute film, it instantly shatters the paradigm and shows you that the same people that ran Bush run Obama, that Obama has lied about everything he said he would do, about hiring lobbyists and ending the wars and not spying on the American people and shutting down the FEMA camps, shutting down the torture camps. It's now even Oberman's having to come out against him and say, no, he lied. It's worse than Bush. Bush tripled government. We thought was impossible. We railed against him, but as a puppet. And then Obama is going to double what Bush did in 1 year. In 1 year. So it is just, and then he says he's going to balance the budget. I mean, just complete lies, the arrogance of the lies, the taking all these good people who believed in him, who thought they were repudiating Bush, not knowing they just put a new fresh horse into the race and that it was a total setup. Infowars.com to get the Obama Deception on hard copy, the highest quality DVD, or watch it in super high quality right now and burn it to DivX and give it to folks at PrisonPlanet.tv, the newly designed PrisonPlanet.tv. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. More of your phone calls coming up. Judge Napolitano is scheduled to pop in later. He's on Fox News right now with some breaking thing. I've got this breaking news. It's a point I've been thinking about the last few days, but I've thought about it more and more and how important it is to illustrate things. So I'm going to be going over some new developments with all these federal and state reports written by the feds coming up after this quick break. And then I know we have loaded phones, and we're going to be taking your phone calls at 1-800-259-9231. Frank, Dino, Rachel, Cheryl, Lisa, and others will be getting directly to your calls after this break. Don't forget, we're here live Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., 4 hours straight, Central Standard Time. Then I come back Sundays live, 4 to 6 p.m. with an abbreviated Sunday show. And you can listen how you want, when you want, where you want on your MP3 or iPod device by going to Infowars.com and clicking the Listen page. And over 135,000 people a day download the free show right there and growing. So if you haven't subscribed, check it out. It's free.